Welcome back to FasTrax Cars. I'm Kevin Matlo, and I've got Reg here with a 1969 Camaro SS. RS. Spectacular car. Reg, welcome to my show.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about your car.
So this is 1969 Camaro RS. It started life as a butternut yellow Camaro with a 350.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, bought by one of the Beach Boys, first buyer.
Wow.
It spent probably 18 years in California.
Mm-hmm.
Was sold to a fellow in BC, Surrey, BC. Had it on the quarter mile, not with this configuration or engine, for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
It was finally purchased by a fellow in Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
And we had it torn down, every nut and bolt replaced. Went to the 502, the way it stands now, pretty much. So yeah, that's the history of the car.
That's amazing. I didn't know about that with the Beach Boys history. Now, it's not the configuration that it came in when you bought it. You've
Not at all.
done some work to it, yeah.
So it started off as a 350 cubic inch.
Yeah.
It now has a crate 502 cubic inch engine.
Wow.
And it's been snoused up a little bit since the crate.
Mm-hmm.
It's running a TH400 transmission.
Mm-hmm.
It has a complete Scott's frame, custom frame.
Yeah.
For the rigidity. It has a 4-link suspension, Ford 9-inch rear end, and coilovers all around. So it's riding quite a bit different than what a 69 would, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. A little bit more modern.
More modern and a lot stiffer to handle the horsepower.
Right.
And the torque. Yep.
Yeah. It's fantastic. And so the exhaust, obviously, as I heard, is not stock.
No, it's
slightly not stock.
hooker headers, 3-inch exhaust pipes, Borla exhaust.
Borla, very nice.
Borla.
Very nice.
Yeah.
All right, and the interior is?
The interior was custom made. It's all leather.
Yeah.
It's a shop in Calgary that did the interior. So it's quite a bit nicer than what the 69 Camaro would have.
Mm-hmm.
It also has new gauges. It has Dakota gauges, digital gauges.
Mm-hmm.
What else am I forgetting? Pretty much every nut and bolt of the car has been replaced for something more modern or more powerful.
Right. And for performance in the engine, obviously it's bored out, like you said. It's
well, it hasn't been bored out.
Not bored, sorry.
It's a crate, GM Performance Crate 502, 502 cubic inch.
Okay.
So probably, so it comes out, the crate comes out at 502 horses,
Right.
502 foot-pounds,
Yeah.
but it has been worked on before dropping it in, so it's probably around this 570, 600 horses.
Right. And what does the car weigh right now? Do you know?
3,600 pounds.
So it's light.
It's light.
Light car.
Light car.
And it's obviously not a daily car. It's a pleasure car.
It's just a pleasure car. We take it around to car shows.
Yeah.
Go for ice cream on a Friday night or whatever. So yeah. It's a fun car. It's not something you drive to work.
No, of course not. Of course not. Handling wise, obviously, with the modern suspension and modern brakes and everything else, it's good to drive in the car.
Very good handling car.
Tell me a little bit about the suspension that's in this car now.
So the suspension is a Scott's frame. It's a custom frame that was ordered for the car. It's made for a 69 Camaro. It's made in the States. So the frame was replaced with a Scott's frame. The back end was replaced with a 4-link suspension and a Ford 9-inch differential and frame connectors to keep it really, really stiff. So there's very little flex in the body at all because of the frame, right?
Yeah, so cornering wise, it's pretty flat.
It's pretty much on rails when you corner. It's very, very stiff. In fact, it's not a very comfortable car to ride in.
Not on Alberta roads, right?
Well, no, it's not. No, it's not comfortable, but you have to, when you're, with that kind of horsepower, you want it as stiff as possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you track it?
No, we don't.
No. Okay.
It was tracked before it was built into what it is today.
Yeah.
It was tracked for over 20 years with a stroker engine and a 2-speed glide.
Yeah.
But those days are over. It doesn't see the track. It gets the odd burnout, but that's it.
That's right. Yeah. You got to be careful of those too.
You got to watch where they. You got to be careful. Yeah.
Absolutely. Tell me a little bit about the brakes. Those they look like discs in there now.
Yeah, it's 4-wheel disc brakes. It's a Willwood system. 6-piston front, 4-piston back. Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, for performance and for braking, I mean, you got that kind of power. You need to have.
With that kind of performance, you want it to stop as well, right?
Be able to stop the car. Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And the front spoiler, that obviously not factory.
Yes, it is.
It is factory.
So
Okay.
the RS, I think even the SS had the front spoiler. It's obviously not the original.
Right.
The only original panels on this car is the hood, the roof, and the trunk lid.
Okay.
Fenders, quarter panels, floors, trunk floor, everything was replaced
Really? Okay.
because it was pretty rusty. So yeah, it's all new sheet metal.
California, sea air, salt air.
Well, it spent some time in BC, quite a few years in
True.
BC, so
True, yeah.
it suffered the wrath of the rust, right?
And you don't know where they're driving it. They're driving on the roads and salt and everything else.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't know. The
It
issues
hasn't
there.
seen bad weather in 15 years. So.
Awesome. Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate your time. Thank you for being on my show.
You're welcome.